Now, as many continue to pay tribute to the late Queen in Scotland, preparations are now underway for the very large procession that is set to happen in London. We join City News special correspondent Lisa LaFlamme, who's, as she noted, speaking with Dina and Sid moments ago, a prime spot here, which is going to be absolutely overtaken by crowds. It already has been, Lisa, but where you are standing not far from Buckingham Palace, can you paint the picture for us again on where you are and what this is going to mean for security and for members of the public? Good morning to you, or good afternoon.
Good morning to you. Yes, I'm not sure what time it is, Melanie, but anyway, we are in a very fascinating spot because we've been watching the rehearsals unfold here. They are rehearsing the procession. They started at about 3 o'clock this morning with the military procession who will take the casket on the carriage from Buckingham Palace, where the Queen will spend her final night tonight, and they will take her to Westminster Hall, where the lying in state will begin. Now, this is also a test for security. We can hear them doing little drills in case there was an emergency, telling all, you can see the public behind me, asking everyone to stay behind the barricades, this sort of thing. This is all really a practice run for what is going to be an overwhelming outpouring of support on the day of the funeral. We've seen these crowds just balloon over the last few days. Today is the first day we actually have rain, so that may change things. However, I doubt it, because everyone is very comfortable with the concept of rain, certainly in this country. But it is remarkable to see that a plan that has been in place for decades, really, and I'm talking not just the protocol of the funeral, I'm talking about the plans for security, Scotland Yard plans. They open those books all the time, and now they actually are acting off of the information. They've got world leaders coming here, but more importantly, hundreds of thousands of people are anticipated to be lining up. They've already started lining up at Westminster Hall to have a chance to personally pay their respects to the Queen. And a lot of people I spoke to who, you ask, why would you wait in line that many hours? And one woman said she felt she needed to pay her respects to the late Queen so that she could then celebrate the new king. So for lots of reasons, people are already lining up, and it's going to be an extraordinary 4 days leading up to Monday's funeral. Melanie.
Lisa, when we speak about the numbers, you said earlier, 4,000 people a minute at St. Giles Cathedral. And that, when you look at that, and now, as mentioned, at Westminster, I can only imagine the number of people that will be turning out as you've been there in London for the last few days. I want to just turn our attention really quickly to King Charles. We have moments ago, he arrived in Belfast, and we know he's going to be meeting with various communities. So here are the visuals now. Can you speak a little bit about the significance of him being in Northern Ireland today and holding service as well before coming back to London?
It is incredibly important for the King to make the trip to the four nations of the United Kingdom. It is also obviously paramount in his mind to keep the union together. And this trip, depending on which side of the street you're on in Belfast, they have a very different view of the monarchy, as you can imagine. Now, Queen Elizabeth was incredibly instrumental in her work toward peace and reconciliation. So they are honored that the King is there during this mourning period. He has pledged to maintain and follow through on the hard work she did with Martin McGuinness. We think about those moments. She was the first to be on the ground in Belfast at a Catholic church on one side of the street, and of course a Protestant church on the other. It was an incredibly emotional moment at the time. With the protocols now, Brexit, certainly referendum in Scotland unfolding, this is a very different time, and it is not inevitable that the United Kingdom remain united. So it's incredibly important for him to be there. There will be a service for his mother, and again, his pledge when he does speak will be to follow through on the example set to him by his mother in her work with peace and reconciliation.
Absolutely. Some very important context there. Lisa LaFlamme, live in London. We appreciate you taking the time. We'll check in with you again tomorrow.